My name's Anne-Margaret Crowe. I'm one of the technology analysts at Edison Group, and I'm privileged this morning to be speaking with Giles Bourne, who is CEO and Managing Director of Bluglass. Morning, Giles.
Good morning, Anne, and thanks for having me on.
It's great. And my first question is, why is Bluglass about to launch its own range of laser diodes?
A very good question. Well, just a brief bit of background. Bluglass, Australian-based semiconductor company, has been in existence now for a number of years and been working on high-efficiency optoelectronic devices, principally in LEDs, micro-LEDs, and learned a lot about epitaxy in that way, and gallium nitride epitaxy. But more recently, in the last few years, been working with specific customers around special, unique laser diode offerings, and that's led us to actually build a direct-to-market laser diode offering, where we see there's unmet needs in the market, lots of opportunity where really not being fulfilled the needs of the customers in terms of flexibility of supply, which causes complications. So we see with our vast expertise in epitaxy and gallium nitride that we can build out a laser diode product. So we launched this business in 2019. And since then, we've been basically building up our knowledge, our supply chain, which is largely over in the US, and on our final manufacturing facility, which is, again, over on the East Coast of the US. And so at that facility, we basically do the final testing of the product. Having the product starts with us in Australia and then goes through various different iterations till it gets to the final supply chain. So we're very close to actually launching our first product to meet this need. So it's a pretty exciting time, but it's really a direct-to-market laser diode business, which comes from years of experience in gallium nitride devices.
Thank you, that was really helpful. And following on from that, where does the laser product fit in the market?
Sure, so we're working on principally blue laser diodes, and the initial sort of opportunity we see it is really for things like cutting and welding for industrial applications. There's also biotech, life sciences. There's a broad range of applications, but initially we'll see the industrial application, cutting and welding, which is used for sort of high-tech electronics, where you can get precision cutting and welding from blue laser diodes. And there's a real need for high-powered devices, which is the area that we're sort of focusing our efforts on. And then beyond that, there's the scientific market, such as quantum computing. There's no end to the sort of range of applications. And for us, we've got a number of products that will come online during the course of the next year and plus, which meet all the various different needs of the market. But it is a market that's growing very rapidly. In the next few years, we see it growing above $600 million US, and we'd like to see ourselves taking a decent share of that market. So it's pretty exciting.
Absolutely. And these laser diodes, they've come from the work that you've been doing on manufacturing technology. Can you tell us what is special about the manufacturing technology that you've developed?
Sure. So a lot of the gallium nitride devices made today are made on what is called MOCVD technology. So that's widely used for LEDs, micro-LEDs, and now for blue laser diodes. And we do have that type of technology in-house, but we've developed our own version of that called RPCVD. And I won't go into what the acronym means, but for all intents and purposes, a low temperature technology. It allows you to get higher powered devices, longer wavelength devices. And that really allows us to get a device that's more versatile for the market. One of the challenges in the laser diode market is that there is issues with performance, and with our unique low temperature technology, you can address that using a technique called tunnel junction. So RPCVD is something that we've been developed for many, many, many years. We've got a number of patents around that technology, and it is a sort of hybrid version of the MOCVD. But that allows us to put out these longer wavelength, higher powered devices, which really gets the market very excited about what we're doing.
Excellent, thank you. And going back to your discussion of the market size, what could that look like with regards to revenues for Bluglass in the near medium future? And in order to achieve those scales of revenues, would a significant amount of additional investment be required?
Well, let me deal with your sort of second part of the question first, if you don't mind. So in terms of capex, the business has got a number of reactors. In fact, we have 5 reactors in our facility right now, which is in this building behind me. And that, we believe, is enough reactors to meet the market need that we're looking for. In terms of sort of capex going forward, there will be some downstream processing capex that we'll be looking at, but it'll be very minimal. So we're pretty well positioned actually to grow into this market without high capex. And in terms of what the forecast looks like, we haven't actually put out any forecast, but we do see that we'll be launching a product in the coming months, and that will allow us to get revenue and grow very rapidly as we have multiple products coming through the supply chain. So we don't talk in terms of what that revenue looks like right now, but we do see revenue through the laser diode product happening very soon and growing thereafter. And we talk in broader terms of the market we're playing to is over $600 million, and we see us taking a reasonable share of that market going forward. Of course, we'll expand on that information in due course as we start putting product onto the market.
Great, thank you. And one of the things that Bluglass has been doing for several years is providing a foundry service for third parties. Can you tell me a little bit more about that, please?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things that actually led to the laser diode was actually through our foundry business. So it's really custom epitaxy. So a number of customers come to us and they ask us for very specific, unique custom devices. And because we've got flexibility in our manufacturing process and great knowledge in epitaxy, we're able to sort of like adapt the process to suit customer needs. So we found that not just for laser diodes, but there's a broad range of applications that we've developed, and we do this through paid foundry work. So for example, micro LEDs is a really exciting area where through the low temperature technology, we're able to do longer wavelength devices towards the red part of the spectrum. So you can have a single device which covers the full spectrum of colors. And that's really exciting. So we have a number of foundry customers who actually pay us to do the development work there. It allows us almost to try out different applications and see what's commercially interesting and get paid to do that work and retain the IP. So it derives revenue for the company, but it also leads to things like this laser diode opportunity that we now have built out or building out a product range. So it's been a very interesting way of sort of introducing our technology to the market.
Do you still see IP licensing as an additional revenue stream?
Yeah, so very much so. The business that we've been developing originally was about developing technology and licensing out. For instance, in the LED space, you need hundreds of reactors to make this to make LEDs, and we don't have that capacity. So we thought developing RPCVD to license out makes sense. So that is still part of our core strategy. But right now, the focus is on introducing the laser diode as a product to the market and continue to work in the background on some of the other applications like LEDs and micro LEDs, where we can license product out there in due course. But the short term for us is all about launching a direct product to market, and we'll continue to look at licensing opportunities in due course.
Well, thank you very much. That's a very exciting stage you're at, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon when those laser diodes are going out the door. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Anne. Appreciate it.